All right, so if you remember, I was saying this was a target and this was a target. So I was only thinking of, go back, listen to it, entering in this fair value gap if we made it and tapped into it before we came and swept liquidity. So if you look right here, this candle ended at 10:14. At 10:14, once it hit 10:15, then you have a valid setup. So with this setup, there's two ways you could have framed it. You could have had this be your risk, so enter in just that fair value gap / this. Now, this is a setup depending on where you want to put your stop loss. I haven't studied it enough to know where exactly, if I'm gonna enter in just a fair value gap, if this is the best stop loss, this or right here. But I'm for right now just gonna go with that. So targets, this is the first target, almost a 1-to-1, but not quite. You still could have took partials off of. This would be my other target, and then the last target would be about right here, and or I'd say that'd be my overall target. So you would have entered in this trade at 10:15, so at the start of that candle. So there is also, again, another level to this. So with this overall trade, if it does hit down to this level, which is where my overall target is, and I will update you to show you if it gets to 2,000, 1.3, 2,000. But if it does, say you risked $1, you'd be risking $1 to make $3, or almost $4. Risking 100 to make almost $4. Now, yes, using this does increase how much you can potentially make, lowering your risk, but getting it on a smaller time frame entry also works. So actually, I'm gonna break down what this looks like. So this to me looks like the same thing as the higher time frame. You see this sweep of liquidity. There's like a small sweep right there, sweep, and then you see a break of structure. So I'm gonna break down what a sweep of liquidity is. A sweep of liquidity is when you see a wick go above an old high or low, and you don't see the candle close. So right here, you see just this wick came up past here. Over here, you see this candle closed. Since it closed below here, I'd call that a break of structure. This over here would be a break of structure, but these wicks are liquidity sweeps. This is a sweep. When you see a sweep, it's like an indication that price is reversing. And then when you get a break of structure, that's like a confirmation that it's reversing. So sweep, break of structure, entering in on this fair value gap. So this is why I don't got enough data logged. But if I did this, easily stopped out. If you use the top of the candle, it doesn't look like you would have been stopped out. It would have been a clean 1 to 2. If you use the top of the candle, that is 1 to 1.35, which is a pretty good risk reward. Like, you do one of these every day, you're good. You don't need to do anything else. But if you wanted to hold this for down here, it'd be trickier because you would have got stopped out, especially if you didn't take partials right there. But with that, again, if you see a break of structure, so we don't have any breaks of structure inside of this. We see a sweep. This was a break of structure. Fair value gap. But overall, we think price is going down, so we wouldn't be taking this buy. But if you look in maybe 2 minutes, we're going to want to see a fair value gap form. 1 minute, we want to see a fair value gap form. And if it does form, we'll just boom, boom, something like that. I will update you whenever